The doctor handed me the test results, whispering, "You're not alone in your own body." As my reflection grinned, I realized my body had already made arrangements with a darker tenant. As I tucked my daughter into bed, she whispered, "I slept well last night, in your room." I hadn't slept at all, haunted by the feeling of tiny fingers wrapping around my own. The day he found his sister Emily hanging in the woods, he decided to work at the suicide hotline and has now saved hundreds of lives over the past 20 years. Of all the desperate calls he's received, he'll never forget the one that made him quit. "I murdered a girl named Emily 20 years ago, and the guilt is killing me." The child we rescued just outside an abandoned warehouse was covered in blood, panting, and kept rambling about being held captive in a family that forced everyone to play different roles. To distract her while we walked back to our car, we asked her what role she was playing in this twisted fantasy, when she replied, "Lure." The doll blinked, and I realized it wasn't a toy. It was my missing sister's eyes staring back at me. The police never found her, but now she found a way to communicate through the doll's glassy gaze. The dark figure at the foot of my bed whispered, "I never left. You just stopped seeing me." I closed my eyes, hiding under the covers, but its whispers persisted in the darkness. The woman's strangled body was discovered tonight in her basement by local police, said the reporter on the evening news. The forensic detective on site looked up in horror at the reporter, realizing that he hadn't told the newsman where they had found the body. The Ouija board spelled out, "Beware the man with your face who lives beneath the floor." Curiosity led me to lift the floorboards, revealing a hidden room where a doppelganger version of me grinned, waiting for its chance to surface. I like to sing in the shower sometimes. When I got out of the last one, the fogged-up mirror read, "You have a lovely voice. I live alone." The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. The last text from my wife read, "I'll love you forever," but she died yesterday. I buried her with the message, but every night my phone lights up with her texts from beyond the grave. I found a photo of my family on a shelf. We were all smiling and waving in the picture, except for me. It seems in that captured moment, the camera saw the demon who possesses me. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. My friends and I spent all Halloween night vandalizing the graveyard, knocking down stones, and breaking the terrified cemetery keeper's windows. The best part is that the police will waste all their time like they do every year, looking for living kids instead of us. As a kid, it felt really unfair to get grounded so often. "Payback," I chuckle, setting the shovel aside. The photo I took of my friends revealed an extra person standing among us, someone none of us could recognize. We all insisted it was a prank, until one by one we started to disappear, leaving that extra person as the only one in the photo. A voice crying, "Shark!" rang out, sending midnight swimmers into a frenzied swim back towards the beach. The dweller, the patient hunter, let out its cry once more before going silent, waiting beneath the cool sand for its meal to come running to it. My family can all remember their past lives, so one day I told my son I was a girl who was murdered. He grinned and responded, "What are the odds we'd meet again?" "All right, girls, we're going to play hide and seek in the forest," I loudly told my daughter and her friend at the edge of the woods, Her friend ran in giggling, but I stopped my daughter, knowing that one child would be enough to keep them from bothering us for a while. I stared in disgust at the ball of hair I just coughed up. Imagine my horror as it sprouts legs and begins to crawl away.